policies. Boom bam. Yahoo everyone, welcome to another VTuber. So tonight we're gonna be discussing a game, and the guest is Anya.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so the topic tonight is wait, let's get I forgot. What's
Refunding games is ethically wrong. I think
there
that's what
are
it is.
so many
Refunding
things
a played
wrong
game
with
is wrong. It's on the title of your
it.
stream.
And I just checked the title and the description. Everything was freaking wrong.
Oh no. Yeah, I see that discussed with @Annie.
Refunding a play game is wrong. Yeah. Okay, let me check the chat first. After you play, get back, always remember to ask for a refund. No! Is that wrong? Is it in their policy? Why doesn't you look very different? You look different, Anya. Did you change something about yourself? Someone say you look different.
Me? I got new rigging. Is that different? Yeah, you can see my teeth now.
Ooh. Nice.
I have teeth now, yeah.
Yeah. There. Evening, Rafi. TP hello, name hello, Lucas Pepper, Pansy hello. On your feed is hello. Can't you find the games? The game is free. Some games
That's
have...
true. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can't defend a free game. Or can you? Some games
Maybe you can.
free hours. Good info. Okay. So Anya, tell us about yourself first.
Tell us about I guess I'm a VTuber. I'm Indonesian, but I speak mostly English because I've been abroad for too long, so I forgot all my Indonesian. And I'm an arms dealer, I guess. I sell guns, and I do that in real life as well. And yeah, and I'm an expert in, I guess, military stuff as well. And I have a lot of hot takes, and that's why I came here to discuss hot stuff with Ethel, I guess.
Let's go. We discuss hot stuff straight out in the open.
Yay.
Yay. It's a promotion. They say you 100% complete the game is free. What? There is something like that. Is Anya a boy or girl? What is you? Are you a boy or are you a girl? We're playing Pokemon now.
Good question. I'm a boy.
It's a boy, guys.
Yes. Gender reveal, I'm a boy.
Gender reveal, let's go. A female boy.
A female boy?
You should do this topic in Kaneko. Kaneko, right. Okay, so the topic. The refunding played game is wrong. Is that your stand?
I don't think it's wrong.
Oh? Wait. But we talk about the DM that you think is wrong. Chetamate, I have to edit
Wait. Okay. I can do the other side too. I can do both sides.
No. Do the side that you think that you think is right.
I will do that. Okay. So I think refunding a played game. Wait, I don't think refunding a played game is wrong because of consumer rights. So I believe that if a product, this is very conditional, but if a product is not as it was advertised, you should be able to refund the game, just like you should be able to refund anything else, any other products. So for example, if you buy a blender and it has a warranty of 6 months, but then it broke on the first day, you should be able to return it and get a full refund. So that's the concept of it. And I also think that Steam policies are different. For Steam policies, if you played the game for less than 2 hours, you're eligible for a refund for any reason at all, right? So it actually puts a lot of pressure for game developers to make their games longer than 2 hours. And a lot of games actually are not are not 2 hours long, especially indie games. And I feel that it is unfair towards indie games, but I feel that it's way better for us to have the consumer rights, because this is a fringe case scenario where you can finish the game in 2 hours and then you can just refund it. And I actually came across this take from a certain VTuber, very famous VTuber. Actually, he actually posted a meme on Twitter in which he said that you can just speedrun the game for 2 hours and then just refund it. Which is he got a lot of backlash over it. Let's just say, and then I guess in the end he said sorry not sorry kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I heard about this drama. I think I heard the gist of it. We're not gonna say names. We're not gonna say names.
Yeah, we're not gonna say names, but I kind of already said the gender, but I'm not gonna say names. Yeah.
Ethel got
So, yeah.
name. Yabe, huh?
Yeah. Go on.
I was just reading the chat.
Oh, you're just reading the chat.
I can
But
do
yeah,
both. Ooh.
Yeah. I think it's very situational. Like, I have a very nuanced view about it, but I think in most cases, consumer rights should trump everything, because the precedence for the other way around is just way worse. So if people weren't allowed to refund a game that they played, for example Battlefield 2042, right? It wasn't anything at all like how people expected it. It had bad hit registration issues, it had a lot of bugs, and it made the game unplayable. And a lot of people who played the game got it refunded because it was just in such a broken state, right?
There's also a petition about it actually. People are outraging for, what is it, EA?
EA?
Oh yeah, for EA to refund every single person who bought the game. That's just how bad it is.
Yeah. I mean, and same case for Cyberpunk 2077 as well. At least on the PS4, right? Was it PS4, PS3? I think on the PlayStation
basically on the
consoles.
consoles.
Yeah. So PlayStation they removed the game from PlayStation Network and just gave everybody a full refund because the game is such an unplayable state. And sure, it harms the developers, and in the end of the day, it doesn't hurt the executives, but it hurts the floor level employee at best. But if we are not able to refund games that we have played, because it is the actual product when we played it, it's not like in the trailers or anything, that companies will get away with like advertising a game and making it look good in the trailer or in the beta, and then like just making a bad game or releasing it very early in a very unplayable state just to get their bonus or something, because usually they have like a bonus if they meet their sales target or their schedule target, usually in the holidays. But I'm not sure because I'm not a game developer. But yeah, so far that's my take on it, I think.
Okay.
I don't...
So the chat are asking, what if you get the use out of it and then return it? It's basically the same question about what if you complete it within 2 hours? Is it okay to return that then? Let's say you're not speed running it or anything. You just play it normally, but then it ends within 2 hours.
Yeah, that's the loophole actually, because so Steam finally revised their refund policy to how any games that if you played under 2 hours, they're eligible for a refund for any reason. But that's actually a result of a court case in Australia where somebody wanted to refund a game, I guess, and it went against Australian consumer rights. And so instead of so they changed the refund policy, because if they don't change the refund policy, they actually can't operate in Australia. They can't sell games to people who live in Australia. So that's even worse, right? Yeah, so what they did was that. And I guess a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, but consumers use that loophole to finish a game and then refund it. And this affects a lot of indie games which are under 2 hours.
So you're saying it's not wrong though. How about in that case? Is it wrong or not now?
It is wrong, but the precedence, if you are not allowed to refund the game, is even worse. So I guess like lesser of two evils kind of thing. Yeah, so that's my view on it.
So it is wrong, but it's it just kind of like an effect of the current things, and current situation is better than the opposite of it.
Yes, it's a side effect of the refund rule, the consumer right refund policy that Steam has implemented. But I guess it only affects Steam so far, because I'm not sure about Epic Game Store refund policy. I think they also revised their refund policy after people were comparing it with Steam's refund policy. But things like itch.io, right? I'm not sure if you can refund things on those. So it's different from each side. And itch.io is also very focused towards indie games. So I think most indie games would probably prefer to sell their games there, even though there's a lot less audience.
Yeah, and then there's also the thing that you have to actually pay first to put your game on Steam.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you need to do that, and also they take a cut of your sales. But yeah, Australia has very sorry, my throat. I just ate.
It's okay.
Yeah, Australia has one of the strongest consumer rights in the world. But yeah, it's a place where even if you get the use out of, I think someone in the comments mentioned, even if you get the use out of like an item or a product, say you had a blender and then you used it like 5 times, but then it didn't blend as smooth as you expected it to blend. But they advertise that it can blend anything very smoothly because the blades are sharp or whatever, right? You can just return it to the store and get a full refund, and that's fine.
Damn. And that's how they make Steam change their policy, huh? Nice.
Yeah. And for this is just my assumption. I don't know the actual data, but people don't usually abuse that kind of refund policy. Like, people don't abuse consumer rights because it's very out of the way for them to, to pack up let's say the blender from before, to pack up the blender to fit everything into the box, get the warranty card, you bring it back to the store and you get a refund, right? It's very out of the way.
But a game is like much easier. You don't even have to get out of your gaming chair to refund a game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So in the end, it falls down to how to these indie developers to make their game longer than 2 hours, unless if they want to release it on Steam. That kind of put a lot of pressure on the indie games, no?
Yeah, it does put a lot of pressure into the indie games, but I also feel like if it's still under 2 hours, maybe, I don't know, it depends on the game. But if, for example, if you make an adventure game, or like, I guess, okay, this is a good example. If you make an RPG Maker horror game, they're usually like 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes long. And so like when you finish it, you can just refund it technically. It does put pressure for the indie developers to make side content or like just more content in general. So like another ending or like collectibles or something, right? That actually adds to the game. And I think that's fine because it does it doesn't pressure the game developers in a bad way. It pressures them in a good way, right? It makes them want to work just a little bit so that they pass the 2 hour mark on the average playtime.
Okay, there's this another case though that I got from the comment on the tweet. Hold on, let me check. On the announcement tweet, someone said that some game actually try to make it as long as possible. Like the beginning part of the game, they make it as long as possible until it hits the 2 hours mark, so that players cannot refund it. So, for example, they make it so that the cutscenes cannot be skipped, for example, and things like that. And then also, the tutorial being like way too long, or the chapter 1 stage is takes like 1 hour to complete. And then after the 2 hours, after the 2 hour mark, all the bad stuff starts happening, like microtransactions and bugs and glitches and all that. Basically, they're just selling the first 2 hours, basically, and then charging a lot of that as if the game is completely good for the whole duration. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
This is an attempt by the bigger game companies, publishers, and developers to bypass this 2 hour refund thing. But I don't think it actually affects it that much, at least for Steam, because people will leave reviews. People will just say, okay, yeah, after the 2 hour mark, this game becomes shit. Don't buy it. So it does warn people. At least like 1 or 2 people might fall for it, but not everyone will be affected. People will find out sooner or later that it only takes 2 hours for the game to become shit, kind of thing.
And because there are like reviews, and there's also like user rating and then stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course.
Like the first Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh, the first Kingdom Hearts game, you can skip everything. You can skip every single cutscene. But yeah, the tutorial island thing was so long. Like if you don't know what to do, if you're not a speedrunner, yeah, it takes a while. Definitely.
I'm not spending just take the just past the 2 hour mark. I think it's a terrible way to make a game. It makes it more like a scam. Useless spending. Yeah, basically the thing we just said. Lucas said it is basically a scam. Now games they can make just to pass those 2 hours. But let's say like there's no refund policy on Steam. We'll just be talking about Steam for now, because that's
sure.
the Steam has the we are both more familiar with the refund policy on that platform, right? Let's say there's no refund policy, so you cannot refund games, right? So now indie developer doesn't need to push themselves to do the to pack in 2 hours of content into their game, even though the game doesn't need all those content. And there will be no games that try to scam the players for 2 hours. And there are also like you said, there are reviews, right? So people who actually buy the game, they'll say that the game is crap, and then the review will be bomb, it will drop, and people will know it's a bad game, and so they wouldn't be buying it at all, right?
Yeah.
So doesn't that just make it actually like doesn't that make no refund actually good?
No, because people don't only refund if the game is misleading or advertising the wrong thing, or like just completely what they weren't thinking of. Maybe just as Vassar here says, what if their laptop cannot run the game? What if their PC is too potato to run the game, even though the requirements say even though the requirements say the minimum requirements is like this, but then they can't run it at all, for example. That's also a reason to refund your game. But I also think that what was I about to say? I also think that things like for multiplayer games servers. So there's this one game that I play called 9 to 5. It's an FPS game, for example. It's free to play, but if it was priced at like $20 and I bought the game, and then I found out that there weren't even any, that everyone who leave reviews are from North America, and they say, oh yeah, the game is fine. But then I'm from Asia, right? And when I bought the game and I go into the game and I try to play the game, I just get really bad connection to the servers, for example. Yeah, I get like 300 ping and the game is just unplayable at high ping. That's also a reason for me to refund, I think. It's very situational. It depends on the person. There's lots of other factors that you have to account for when you're refunding games. And for sure that most people, I sure hope that most people don't refund the game because they even though they enjoy the game, they just want their money back, anything. No, I'm pretty sure there must be like
scummy.
Yeah, that would be really scummy of them. I'm pretty sure there's a good reason for them to refund a game. For example, what game did I refund recently? If I remember, I refunded an early access game recently. I forgot what it was, but it was like $15 or something. Because it wasn't at the state where I think it deserves my money yet. Because people were the most of the reviews are positive. I'm trying to be like an informed consumer, but it was broken beyond my imaginations. I don't know why people were there were so many like positive reviews of it.
Or maybe it's like fake reviews.
Maybe it is, yeah. Who knows? Maybe they paid people. They just gave people the codes to play the game, and then they all said, "Oh yeah, it's good," kind of thing. That's also a case.
Someone say, "Don't forget to refund your Ethels." Shut up! Don't refund the Ethel. Okay. Someone said seperti Gran Turismo yang baru, like the new Gran Turismo. It's a scam. They say, "Oh yeah, the new Gran Turismo. I heard it." Like pretty scammy. Like the first few days they release, it's all good and dandy, and once the reviews all go up and once they have like all the money and stuff, right, and then suddenly bam, all the microtransactions go down. And now because people already like probably already play way above the 2-hour mark, they cannot refund.
Yeah. It's kind of really scummy. It was the first time that the Gran Turismo series has ever done that, but it was really scummy of them, and I guess them like putting the servers down for hours at a time when they were implementing the whatchamacallit, the microtransactions. It really didn't help.
That is pretty terrible. And also, wouldn't you, seeing all these cases, wouldn't one be able to actually argue that all the refund policy actually push the companies and game developers to actually pull this kind of crappy moves? It's actually that policy that make them do all this. And besides, if it's like to check whether the game can be run or not, there's the crack version. Of course, I'm not saying we should be cracking games because that is very obviously illegal.
About that, good question though. I think that at least when the companies do that, they can be called out right away. Like even though they have like good scores of the initial from the critics, people can still review bomb them on Metacritic, right? Like the user score, they can always do that. So I don't think that is a problem, because when they launch the game, they already set a standard for themselves. Okay, the game's gonna be like this, guys. Then everyone knows, okay, the game is supposed to be like this. no microtransactions. The moment they add microtransactions, people can just lash out.
Well, the lash out we have any effect though, because like this company, Gran Turismo was like Square Enix. That thing's huge.
Wait, Gran Turismo Square Enix, really?
Was it Square Enix?
Gran Turismo 7 publisher. Let's see here.
Sony
Interactive, actually.
Oh, Sony, right, sorry. Yeah, Sony. Sony is still pretty big. Will the lash out still have effect though? Especially also like the audience. We're just not talking about, because it's a pretty big company, and like it's probably also not only marketed to people to inform gamers, right? Well, what about those who don't really know about this whole refund and stuff and microtransaction situation? Because like for us who has been in like the gaming world, right? Microtransaction is pretty new thing. Right, for us it's like it's a kind of terrible addition to the game and all the stuff. But for those who haven't been gaming basically, like I say, like because how common microtransaction these days, wouldn't they think like, oh, this is the standard for gaming stuff? So, and then that will let the company still get away by doing microtransactions, because these people will be the ones who pay. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. It sets a bad precedence for the newer gamers, because they'll be conditioned to accept microtransactions. Like, microtransactions are the norm. Like, if a game doesn't have microtransactions, that's kind of weird, right?
So
is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So then, even if we like lash out, right? Even if we lash out, wouldn't the company still be able to make some money if they keep still doing the scammy, like the scammy kind of Gran Turismo, suddenly change the heavy change to the microtransaction thing, and try to siphon money from these more casual players.
All right, so in the case of Gran Turismo is a very, very, very well established IP. They got more than 7 games now, right? They have the PSP games, which is like Gran Turismo Sport or something, and then they have like, I think they have 2 games in PS4 as well. I'm not too sure. I haven't been playing Gran Turismo recently, but they're a very well established IP, so there are expectations for people who comes in and plays Gran Turismo. Is like, okay, yeah, this game should be like this. Basically, what I meant by like this is like no microtransactions. You can just grind your money normally. You can get all the cars you want so long as you grind for it, kind of thing. And the grind is not super time consuming as well. So people knows what to expect out of that. So even people who are new to, like, for example, Gran Turismo, and they're new gamers and they think microtransaction is normal, when they see that people are lashing out and just stop playing the game and the player base just drops because of the microtransactions, they're gonna sense that something is off.
They're gonna learn. Actually, they're gonna learn from there. They're gonna learn. Oh, so microtransaction is a bad thing. Oh, and then they're gonna get into a whole other world.
Yeah. But they will also learn, oh, the older Gran Turismo games does not need to rely on microtransactions to make money. Despite all the license they have to pay to all the car manufacturers to put the cars into the game. Right?
Yeah.
Because they're a good game. That's sometimes that's all you need to do. You need to be a good game, marketed well, no bugs, and I guess not being scummy, and I guess like more content or whatever. I think let me remember when Gran Turismo, if I'm not wrong, when Gran Turismo 5 came out on the PS3, it was actually criticized by a lot of people for having less cars in the game than the predecessor, actually Gran Turismo 4, which I played a lot of. I played hundreds of hours of that game. Yeah, because the driving tests are quite hard.
Okay, by the way, I'm gonna go to the toilet for a bit.
Yep.
You entertain the chat. Maybe answer some of your questions.
Sure.
Oh, where is my avatar? There you go.
Oh. I read chat. She's going to go TWEP. What's TWEP? Wait, what's TWEP? Wait, do I get to answer the questions by myself now? Hello? Hello, Shima? Hello, Vassar? Talking about Halo, I don't think Halo's dip was solely on microtransactions. It was just a lack of consistent new content. Anya have YouTube channel or Twitch? Yes, I have both YouTube channel and Twitch. You can look it up on my Twitter. I don't know if I can post links here, so. Toxic waste evacuation protocol. Okay, let me just read some of the chat. Hello, this discussion reminds me of a game called 30 Flights of Loving. It's a story game that's about 10 minutes long. In 2012, started a large debate about game content, length, value. But yeah, the thing with like value, it's people have to perceive the value, right? If people think it's an art game, like a walking simulator that's only like 10 minutes, and you paid like, I don't know, $20 for it, is it really? Because that means it's like it's $1. No, wait. If it's 10 minutes only, that means it's $2 per minute, right? Do you think it's worth $2 a minute for what they did in the game, kind of thing? Because people have that kind of that sense of value, you know? Battlefront 2, anyone? Yeah, Battlefront 2 was yikes. The sense of accomplishment. I'm not sure about Halo because I wasn't following Halo, but all I know was that Halo had a very, very grindy battle pass, but I'm not too sure. Anya kind of looked different with the signature blue-red background. Yeah, I'm on Ethel's channel, so we get the yellow and green background. Didn't GT5 on the PS3 have paid demo or something? It was really early in the PS3 life cycle. Did it? Did it have paid demo? Let me see. Gran Turismo 5 paid demo. It had a time trial demo. It had a time trial demo, so you can only play the demo for a certain amount of time. But I do remember that for older Gran Turismo games, they always had like a limited demo, so like you can only there's only a limited number of cars and limited number of races that you can do, and you can just keep playing it though? Question mark. But yeah, let me just see. I don't know about Halo's new content, but all I see is that I don't know if they even have new. I know they have new guns, like new gun variations, but I don't know if they have actually new maps or anything or new game. I'm pretty sure they have new games. You know what? Yeah, maybe games now need to have demo or trial version to give the idea, the gameplay and how well it run. Yeah, maybe. You know, we've been doing demos in the olden days. I don't know why we stopped giving demos now. It's funny though how a little bit out of topic, but it's funny though how basically the demos for, if you guys remember Battlefield 2042, you can only access the beta if you pre-ordered the game already. Exclusive access, they say, but you're basically like playtesting, right? And I feel like that's kind of shitty because in the olden days you can just enter a beta test for free. So I don't know. But yeah, the spec reason I think is legit. But if you just want to, yeah, quote unquote beta. Yeah, Cyberpunk and PlayStation is very bad because they did not optimize it for the PlayStation because they forgot that PlayStation ran on hard disk drives. and so you don't have the processing power, you don't have the memory bandwidth, and you also don't have the disk read speed to actually run the game smoothly. Yeah, the game industry really got entitled. I mean, for example, the pre-orders really got them entitled because people do when game companies started opening up pre-orders. Basically, they sell the games at full price without even delivering the product. They already got the money, so they don't really have, like, they have the ethical obligation, they have the moral obligation to give you the product that they advertise for, of course, but they don't really have the motivation to give you a good product because they already have your money, right? It's the same thing in how I feel. Okay, don't quote me on this, but it's a little bit of an analogy. I find that when I commission artists to draw something, when I give them full money at the start, I feel like they're a bit lazy. But this, of course, doesn't apply to every artist, but this is just something that I see. This is very, very anecdotal, okay? So take it out of context. Like, compared to when I only give them half of the money at the start. The artists that I only give half of the money at the start, they're actually very motivated to, they have the hunger, they have the drive to actually finish the artwork and get the rest of the money, get the other 50%. But yeah, that's a little out of topic. But yeah, welcome back, Ethel, I think.
Hello. I have returned. What have you been talking behind my back, you people?
Nothing about you. I think people was just talking about TWEP, and then I was like, what the hell is TWEP?
It's TWEP.
Toxic Waste Evacuation Protocol.
Yeah,
I see.
Toxic Waste Evacuation Protocol.
Yeah.
30 Flags of Loving is a story game of 10 minutes long that it all started. If you read that one. There's
I read that one. I'm not too sure about the I'm not too sure about the game itself. So, but I feel like people have a sense of value, and I think it's okay to debate about it because so 10 minutes long. If the game, for example, costed $20, that means you have a value of $2 a minute. You're paying $2 a minute for this content, right? I mean, if it's like fucking beautiful and it changed your life, $20 is nothing, right? If it changed your life forever, it has opened up something new inside you. Maybe you'll be like a successful person that will now be the CEO of a company and earn $5 million every month. That's fine, right? That's good value. But yeah, if it's 10 minutes and it does nothing to you, it doesn't make you feel anything, is it really good value?
Well, I mean, technically, the one who sell the items can put whatever price they want on their items. It's just that whether the problem then lies in whether there will be market for such item in such price.
True.
They have all the rights to put whatever price they want.
Yeah, of course. So the problem is then, where does the developers or the publishers' sense of value, does it match the consumer's sense of value?
Because in the end, it doesn't matter how much what price you put on the item. If there is nobody to buy it, then you won't be getting any money out of it.
I mean, at the same time, yeah, that's the developer's job to do their market research to know what their game is worth, right? I mean, one example that we can see is, do you remember Lawbreakers?
I think I heard of the game before. What about them?
Yeah, it's this movement shooter that's kind of like Overwatch, and people were comparing it to Overwatch because Overwatch was popular at the time, and it was by Cliff Bleszinski, the guy who did Gears of War, I think, right? And he's releasing it to PC first, and he was marketing the game as like $20 at the start, I think, if I'm not wrong, and then he moved it up to $40, if I'm not wrong. And then he quote, I quote from him, none of that $60 multiplayer only bullshit. Verbatim. That's what he says. So basically, yeah, it's a multiplayer only game, and he thinks that Overwatch is kind of a scam because it's multiplayer only and it shouldn't be worth $50. But yeah, I guess that's one example. Yeah. What do you think?
About that, well, I still stand with what I said before. Like the company can set whatever price they want.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if the standard market is $60 for multiplayer only game, then $40 would definitely win over that, right? But then again, I heard that Lawbreakers isn't doing very well.
Lawbreakers is dead.
It's not.
You literally cannot play it anymore.
It's not just not doing very well.
Yeah, it's actually dead. So they I think they dropped the prices from 40. They quickly dropped the price back to 20, and then they made it free to play, and then it still wasn't able to revive the game, so it closed down. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's also kind of an effect from releasing it pretty close to Overwatch.
That's one thing, but people wouldn't stop comparing it to Overwatch, but he would also the director of the game, the person who had the idea of the game and had a lot of the creative decisions made for the game, he also compared it to Overwatch. Unfortunately.
No wonder.
What he should have compared it to is Quake. He forgot it because it's a movement shooter. There's movement shooters like Unreal Tournament and Quake and some other things. I think like Tribes Ascend, very old game, right? If you remember,
I heard of it.
Yeah. So Tribes Ascend, it had this like movement mechanic that was unintended but became intended because it made it unique. Yeah, it was a bug, but then people liked it so much they made it a feature of the game and main selling point. But yes. As Zena said, Lawbreakers deserve to replay. I agree. Yeah, and I guess that's like another topic on like online service, like games as a service thing. But yeah,
I guess we can also put that in another topic.
yeah.
And also,
sure.
I think I kind of feel like I haven't actually gotten the answer to like how the refund policy actually pushed these developers to pull all this scummy stuff, and what if we actually don't have the refund, we are not able to refund the game at all. But I guess that also can be put in another topic, like do we even need the refund policy at all, kind of thing.
No. I think I kinda answered, but not in a very straight ways. But
Okay,
I think
what's the
that
answer?
it doesn't matter if the developers start doing those scummy things like what Gran Turismo 7 did, because people will know. People will catch that because when they release the game, when they release the game, they already set a standard for it, right? So people know what to look out for. But when a game comes out shitty and then becomes good, kind of thing, it becomes better, right? But when like everyone will still catch it. I think so. A good example is No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it was so bad. It wasn't how it was advertised at all. No multiplayer. Everything's broken, right? Even on the PC, even on the PS4. Even maybe not PS3, like PS4, right? So and then when it became good over time, people noticed, right? And then they were like, oh, this game's good now. Yeah, even better than how it was advertised before, right?
Like
Just need to give it
way
time.
much better. I bought that game on the list and I have it ever since. Wait, no, I didn't buy it on the list. I played it on crack on the list.
Oh.
I didn't have the money back then. I can shut up. And then I actually bought it like midway, and now I didn't buy it on the list, but I always have faith in it. And hey, it turns out well. Oh yeah, you did answer that. So basically, basically it doesn't really matter whether there is the refund policy or not there, but because like in whatever thing there will always be bad people trying to do bad things, right? Let's say we don't have the refund policy, then game developer can get away with selling bad games, right? and
Yeah.
then they can even like pay people to leave good reviews and stuff, so they can still get the game, get money and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And their only risk is like if people had like a class action lawsuit, I guess, and but it doesn't work on every country.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people need to. It's very hard for people to have a say about the game if they're not able to refund the game. I think
Mm-hmm.
because voting with your wallet is a thing. I guess,
Voting with
right?
money talks. The most
Yeah, money
powerful
talks.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also, I guess, in the end, it all comes down to us being like smarter consumer and a developer being acting more decent. not being scummy towards people who actually will give them money.
I think like if people love a developer enough, they'll just give the money regardless if the game is like really good or really bad. So long as the developer is consistent about what they're advertising and how the game turns out, I think it's okay.
I mean, just look at Cyberpunk, right? People was already, it's from CDPR. This gonna be good, right? And yeah, people have the trust on the on the goodwill of of those who make their products, basically. It's not all. You don't have to trick them into things to get their money. If you're good to them, they're gonna be good to you, basically.
Yeah, so long as the developer or the publisher isn't super abusive to their consumers, like the consumer trust, I guess, will go up, so it's fine. So I guess, for example, like the reason why Apple is selling really well is because they I guess for the most parts they've been good on the consumer trust. Like they advertise something and they deliver it, kind of thing. For the most parts,
Even
and people
the
will just keep buying their phones every year, right?
yeah, and then there's also the culture about the people who buy Apple products. The culture about, I have these expensive things.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a flex. It's a status symbol.
Yeah.
Especially here in Indonesia, owning an iPhone is a status symbol.
And but yeah, they promise something and they actually deliver on it. So people, even though we think what they're promising are crap, but people who actually do buy their products, they fulfill the promise. So they trust Apple. So they always buy.
Yeah, I think like, for example, what can really make your consumer trust fall is like if there is something wrong with your product or let's say the game, right? And then like just how you react to it, kind of thing, is also gonna affect your consumer trust. For example, what happened to Samsung, right? When they released Note 7,
what happened? I don't really know.
it exploded, right? The battery. Yeah, and
I think I heard about this before.
Yeah, and then what they did was they immediately recalled like 2 million units, if I'm not wrong. They immediately recalled it. So that's a good move. That will like actually control the damage that has been done, because things happen. Maybe like for a game, for example, for example, this Gran Turismo 7 thing, someone decided that, hey, maybe we should add microtransactions to the game so that we can get more money, so that we can do more content for the game. That's their reason. Their official reasoning. People didn't like it, And now it depends on, now the ball is in their court, is in the developers and the publishers' court, to actually, how will they react? Will they actually give in to the people's demands because, they already set a standard for themselves when they release the game, or will they just keep going with this? Because if they keep going this way, I feel like the next Gran Turismo games aren't gonna do as well.
Because people already know, like, it's sus. It's already sus.
Yeah, they stabbed us in the back once. They're gonna do it again, right? Yeah, they lose trust.
It was made by Osama Joto. SMT spam bans new clone games, semi-abandoning their previous game. Huh? What's the game it is?
SMC is Super Mecha Champions. Actually, I played a lot of SMC. If you know about the game,
Oh, Super Mecha Champion. Yeah, that one. I played it.
I've got, let me see how many hours I got there. I got 350 hours in the game, and I'm highest rank in the game as well. And I'm number 5 in Hurricane. So I think I have a bit to say about that. So wait, I need to answer. Fresh milk. Yes. So I think the main problem with SMC is that it's a free to play game. It's a community driven game. It's a community driven game because it's multiplayer. But they don't really listen to the player base. So a lot of the game is very buggy, at least on PC. And they don't really listen to people's advice for game balance or even like bug fixes, and there has been a lot of bugs that hasn't been fixed in the 1 year plus of me playing the game. So I don't think that's good for a community driven game because it's multiplayer only, and it's free to play as well. So people haven't sunk money into the game, sunken cost fallacy. So they're like, if the game turns bad, they can just leave it. Like, sure, they spent money on like skins or something, but it's not gonna affect their lives, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, just like them not listening in general, I guess, is damaging the community and damaging the player base overall.
Because like the players are the ones who are consuming the game, and they're not listening to the players. As Anya with her stretzels. Where's the stretzels, Anya?
What's a stretzels?
I don't know. Name say so.
What's a stretzel?
I trust Valve over everyone. Praise Lord Game. Let's go.
Wait.
No Man's Sky.
Valve should not be trusted. Yeah, you shouldn't put your trust in any company. Not a single company you should trust. Because at the end of the day, they're there to make a profit. They're not there to do whatever you want them to do your dishes, to clean your laundry, to like make your bed. They're not there to do that. They're just there to make money. If you like their games, sure, go buy them. If you like their products, sure, go buy them, go support it. But I feel like you shouldn't support a company because what really matters to them is just their balance sheet, nothing else. They don't care if you're happy. They don't care if you're sad. They don't care if your girlfriend dumped you. They don't care. All they care is that you buy their games and you don't refund the games. But yeah.
In the end, it's all about the money for them. Of course, their company, they're there to make money. No Man's Sky is a bit different from me. Big studio games though, Anthem advertiser, and NMS recovery, but EA gave up on it. No Man's Sky is very dedicated studio.
Like as Zena said about No Man's Sky, they had nothing to lose. Well, I guess they had man hours to lose. I guess it's an opportunity costing. The hours that they put into fixing their game could have been better spent making another game. But I feel like they did the right thing because they promised a lot of things. And even if they made another game and suppose it's good or like it's decent, I don't think people will buy it just because of what happened with No Man's Sky, right? If they didn't fix it.
Because the No Man's Sky will become like a bad mark on their record, right? It's already they made this bad game and they didn't even fix it, kind of thing. So people will lose trust on their new game as well. But now they actually fixed No Man's Sky, and they're basically the basic story of zero to hero kind of thing.
Yeah, and I also feel like going back on the refunding thing, we've seen a lot of games nowadays. For example, Battlefield, right? It happened to Battlefield 4 even, and Battlefield 4 was a long time ago, 2014, I think.
Wow.
So what they did was they released the game in such a bad state just to meet their launch target, and then they'll fix it over time. And I guess the thing with forgot. Was it sold? It was sold on Steam. Was it sold on Steam, Ethel?
I
Battlefield
don't
4?
remember. I don't think I even used Steam on 2014.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
When did you start using Steam?
I don't know. I think I started using it like just a few years ago because before this I didn't have credit cards and all that, and so I couldn't actually
Oh.
buy games on Steam, and I also didn't have the money to actually buy the game. So yeah,
Oof.
I was a frequent on Fit Girl.
Fit girl.
Yes.
Good one. I love that meme.
Hey, I trust Fit Girl. Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, yeah, I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. So it launched in 29th of October 2013, and it is on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess even back then you can. I forgot when was the Steam refund policy. Let me just Google it. Steam refund policy, Australia.
Australia. Guys,
So that was.
Anton,
When was that?
you make them
28. Oh, 2015. 2015.
Ah, 2015. So like they couldn't refund the Battlefield 4.
Yeah. Battlefield 4. There was no refund policy for that on Steam yet. For any reason, the thing we have now. So yeah, if people could have done that, I think they would have
refund the hell out of that game.
yeah, people would have refunded the shit out of that game. That's true. Yeah. Fit Girl Master Race. Oh no, people know about it. That's where you get your demos. That's where you get your demos for all the games, guys, without paying. Yeah, you just go to Fit Girl, and then if you like the game, you can buy it on Steam or something.
You can use the Fit Girl crack to test if your system can run the game or not.
True.
Yeah. I definitely was just testing my system, and but just to be sure, I had to play the game from start to finish, right? And then I decided that my system couldn't handle any of the game and download it, so I didn't buy any of them. Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, at least you're honest, right?
At least you're honest. Regarding Women's Sky, recommend you watch Internet Historian. Oh yeah, I watched that video. Yes, Women's Sky, it's called.
The encoding of yes, women's land or something.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
that one.
Yeah. Also, another thing that I wanted to talk about was another reason why you should refund. I guess it does have to do with the spec thing as well. But DRM.
DRM, what's that?
Digital rights management. So things like the Nuvo, right? So they will not run on Intel 12th Gen on Windows 11. For example, right? I think that's a good grounds to not to refund the game. Because what the DRM does a lot of times is they use some kind of hardware with the CPU. I think the TPM or something, Trusted Platform Module. And because of the new architecture with Intel 12th Gen core processors, they use a different way of generating the checks whether this game is legit or not. And because of that, it actually breaks a lot of DRMs and you can't play a lot of games because of that. Oh yeah, anti-cheat as well. Yeah, it breaks a lot of anti-cheat and you just cannot play some of those games with Intel 12th Gen on Windows 11.
Wait, that's a new new generation?
Yeah, the newest generation of Intel processors. So the architecture is different. So it's kind of like using Android's little big architecture. So you have some bigger cores. So you have something called performance cores, and you have something called efficiency cores. So they have two different clocks and two different sizes on the die. Yeah, so they work very, very differently from other desktop CPUs so far.
So because of this, so you are not recommended to refund games because it may actually break the game.
No, you have a right to refund the game.
Right.
if like the
Yeah.
game is
Mhm.
broken on your hardware, like your computer can run it, but it's just that the DRM or the anti-cheat makes it so that it is unplayable on your hardware.
Right. So you
But if
download
you
the
were
game.
but it's funny because if you remove the DRM, so if you remove the anti-piracy stuff, like the Denuvo or something, you can still actually play the game.
So you buy the game, you make it illegal, you make it a cracked game, and then you play it.
Yeah, I guess you can do it that way. Yeah. That's one way to do it, I guess.
I honestly at that point kind of like, oh my god, that's a big unfair to the customers because they paid for an actual like a legit product, but they end up having to make it into an illegal product in the end.
Yeah, but kind of it's the developer's fault, but also Intel's fault, kind of, because they didn't say that, oh yeah, it will not work if you're on Windows 11 and using the CPU, by the way. They don't say that.
What?
Yeah, you have to like find out the hard way, kind of thing.
Damn it, Windows. Of course they wouldn't say that.
They rush Windows 11, that's why. Yeah.
Why are they even rushing it now? Because they need
to
things
coincide
to
with the launch of Intel 12th Gen. Because Intel 12th Gen works better on Windows 11 performance-wise, slightly. So they can like claim bigger numbers against AMD, I guess. Oh yeah, and AMD had past tense some problems on Windows 11 as well, so it gave them even bigger numbers. Yeah, somebody in your chat just said it. Somebody in your chat knows Mr. Lucas here.
Damn, I'm using AMD thing, so that means eventually I will not be able to use both of them, like from both brands at the same time. Yeah, very young because they have problem with each other.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like a favoritism, but at the same time, I'm like, they'll fix it eventually, like the problems. So I think like with AMD now and Windows 11, it's fine-ish. Yeah, I think that everything will be fixed eventually, but I also think that if your OS is already good, if there's nothing broken about it, there's no need to fix it. There's no need to fix it and upgrade to Windows 11. If there's nothing you want out of Windows 11 specifically, then there's nothing you shouldn't upgrade.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about upgrading anyway.
Yeah. One of my friends upgraded to Windows 11, and she had an AMD processor. And yeah, it messed up some things, let's just say.
Oh no!
Even though I warned her about it, she took the advice of somebody else, and yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I'm also kind of iffy about like Microsoft products, even though I know they're probably good to a degree. Some of the products are good. I mean, I'm using Windows 10, but yeah. Maybe it's because like from Windows Vista, and so every time they announce new Windows, I'm like, it's gonna be good though. I already have my suspicion.
It's the meme with Windows, with Microsoft Windows, is that every other release is bad. So Microsoft Windows XP was good, and then Windows Vista was bad, right? And then Windows 7 was good, and then Windows 8 was bad.
And then they skipped 9 for some reason.
They skipped 9 for some reason. There's 8.1 though, right? 8.1 exists. And then
what about 9?
I don't know why they forgot 9. I guess
some people say because 9 is linked to Cherno, you know Cherno from Toho. And Cherno is an idiot, so they don't want to be
Wait, what? That would have been great.
They just don't want to be associated with some idiot fairy, so they skip number 9. Of course, it's not the actual reason.
What? That's so mean. But I love Cherno. She could have been the official mascot, and then the symbol could have been like this, the circle 9 for the Windows. That would be so good for the marketing. And then like they could have the official colors be like Chernobyl and white, I guess.
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe we can read some of the comments.
Okay, let's see. Which one should we read? Anya.
Ethel,
Windows
Anya.
11 does have feature I want. Yeah, but what are the features for Windows 11 anyway? I don't even know.
Well, one of the features is that they have like a native emulator for Windows. I mean, for Android applications. So you can natively run any Android application on Windows 11, but it's very, very scuffed so far.
So would still be better off using BlueStacks then.
Yeah, apparently it's using some kind of interpreter. I'm not too sure about it. So it's not actually emulation. It's not actually emulation. It just interprets the instructions from the I don't know what the instructions are. I'm not very good at programming, you see.
I respect what oh my god. So that was loud. I respect what Valve has done to progress the game industry and some of their hardware projects, but their incompetence, laziness, and stubbornness should not be ignored.
Oh yeah, talking about Valve, well, you saw what happened to their quote unquote console. What was it called? That
Steam
thing
Deck?
that no, not Steam Deck. Like that thing that will like stream the games to your like TV. That like that top box thing. What the hell was it called? That failed. And then their Steam controller also kind of failed. And I guess Steam, like Valve Index, didn't really fail. I think it's quite innovative. It's because it has like full all 10 finger tracking, right? On the controllers. Yeah, unlike a lot of the other competitors. So it is $2,000 if I'm not wrong. Steam Link, yeah. It's called the Steam Link machine. Yeah, Steam Link.
Steam Link.
Yeah, it didn't.
$2,000. How much is that in Rupiah?
28 million.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, don't buy Index. It's very expensive.
God damn.
Unless you want the best experience, I think Index is the best experience so far. For VR at least. And it has native compatibility with all Steam VR games in Steam, because Steam, they have their own runtime for VR. They made their own runtime, right, called Steam VR. Yeah, so there's like Oculus XR runtime thing, which is made by Oculus, and there's some other runtimes, I think. But Steam, I think, is the most versatile one. It works with everything. It doesn't matter what headset you have. It just works. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, so anyway, we already passed the 1 hour mark, and I think we are already kind of drifting to another topic anyway. So I think it's about time we end the discussion there. Okay,
Yeah, so
thank you everyone for watching, and thank you Anya for collaborating tonight.
yeah, thank you for having me. It's been really fun. It seems that your chat is also very, 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 very passionate about this topic.
I'm really glad they are. I'm totally not having them at gunpoint so that they are actually, interacting with us. Totally not.
Oh no.
Except for 7 months. Thank you. Nice.
Thanks so.
I would like to refund get back. Chata. That looks like Snorlax. How come I am a Snorlax? I look nothing like a Snorlax. Ethel is definitely not holding us at gunpoint. 7 points. Thank you, Rata King. So, Ethel, help us. Anya, got anything else to say?
So yeah, I think in conclusion, be an informed consumer. If you think that a game was not worth your money for any reason other than the game is too short, I think you should refund the game. But I think, refunding the game is alright. It's still ethical, because the precedence for the other way around is definitely not. It's not ethical to not hold companies up to their like do not hold companies accountable for their promises, I guess.
And to companies, don't scam your customer.
I think that's a bit of a common sense, but common sense is not so common, I guess.
Yeah, it's not very common. Some people doesn't really know this commonness.
I
Okay then.
agree.
With that, thank you so much for watching everyone. This is Ethel, Chamomile, and Anya. Check the link in the description for Anya's YouTube and tweets. And also for my Patreon, FANBOX, and merch. You can get space on my support me on Patreon. I kind of wonder, do you even still get like those special merch from Patreon? I never even checked. And yeah, I was looking like about the merch for my Patreon. I wonder if it's still working on it.
Patreon.
Thank you again for Greenbat, Name in the Room, support me on Patreon, Simjim, Labemam, support me on FANBOX, and Adi, Sumiman Smas, Greenbat, Hamden, Gubayman, Brian, Hachima, Oja, Justin, Raysan, Wibasres, Tuho, Magobing, Namsung, Otakukuk, Elliot Place, Now, Santiago, Zentamari, and everyone who support me. Attacking Maru Sim Sasi Marata H and Unthinkable Sam and everyone who support me and say to me, thank you so much. Manada, have a nice day, have a nice day, and take care. Asma! Maybe I should have like the guests also appear here. There you go.
Maybe, yeah.
There's Anya on the credit screen now. There you go.
Yay. Smile.
Asma!
How do I say it? Oh, wait. Is it supposed to be a smile or it's supposed to be like mile? As in like the distance?
It's Asumile.
Smile.
It's invented by Adi right there.
Oh.
It's Asukara and Chamomile. It becomes Osumile.
Oh.
Yeah, but the smile sounds like smile. So yeah,
somebody just said senile.
Asunal jane chotto mate kudasai. I am not senile. Okay, respect your elders. So.
Otsa smile?